Guys, back again to the root. I'm just a little bit having some cherishment here at the top of my hillside here. It's one of the fantastic area that I'm still having at my home here, and much of the eucalyptus trees here, they are so subject to this kind of an area. So it's a very good zone here that I always come and pause a little bit to make sure that everything is coming live one-on-one. So guys, I've seen much of the terrible, much of the people thinking about I'm like them. So much of the people start to compare themselves with Gintu, start to compare themselves with what is Gintu making you can make it. And to the real way I talk about, that's where I got a failure, whereby I understand now where the program was running to and how it was. So the good fact is much of the people will think about, oh, Gintu is the one who is giving out this kind of the talking to them. No. Sometimes we have the both parties talking and coming to this kind of a conclusion of much of the people talking about this is how it was, this kind of the way. So it came to have a failure at one of the point whereby I got arrested, and we had much of the communications here east, west and south, so as everything will be coming so fantastic at this kind of the point, at the other point, and that's how we started roaming and making sure that everything is coming very horrible. And much of the people started thinking about they're going to be doing much of the things to asquamarize themselves. So the fact is, I've heard much of this kind of the guys and whoever just oriented right now, they're talking bad about Gintu. I feel like they don't have the legitimate legacy of understanding that if you are in much of the friendships here and there, so you can have that kind of a catalog of talking about this is the private business, this is going to be a private way of movement, but somebody can talk about now, I want to talk about now, this is how it's going to be, this is how it's going to be. Nobody doesn't have a secret, and that is that's the reality. Nobody doesn't have a secret, and the secrets that are there, not everything should be put in the platform that, oh, everybody should know about this and this. And what they just know is just a minute things that they ever get from that, oh, this is a person talking this way, this I'm just, sometimes I gauge my talk and how I'm just talking to them. And they think about now they have got everything completely with Gintu, and they have now dismantled Gintu completely. No, you'll never get whatever Gintu. And guys, I'm telling you, this as a fact, the only target that was there was to make sure that they're just taking my phone and noting all kind of the numbers, but they will never get them, because for you to put much of I don't talk about how many passwords, how many pins, how many talk about pins and everything we're gonna just insert into the phone, talk about the locks until it get opened. But the fact is that they missed that opportunity of making sure that they're gonna be getting into this kind of the cardiophagistic way. So the good thing that is coming out is much of the people, they have forgotten that Gintu was unto their life in a way that I got you while you had nothing. Nothing. And that is the fact. I got this kind of the guys while they were nothing. And I tried my best to make sure that I'm asquamarizing them to have this kind of the portfolio getting forward, whereby a person is coming to lament that I was helping Gintu so as they can just make sure that everything that's going to be happening. The good fact is that they don't have even an idea that they think about, oh, Gintu is having this kind of a person who is making this. Everybody will never, guys, I'm telling you, there's a fact. Everybody comes to your life or comes to inserting themselves into your life knowing and having a purpose of something. Whereby, whenever you see the G Castle getting on, much of the people in your house now, they're going to be talking about, oh, this is the guy, this is the guy, this is the guy. You are wrong. You are totally wrong. And that's why I'm telling you that they'll never know the fastest things that I always handled, and I handled them very carefully. It's only a miscellaneous effect. This kind of a subscriber started talking about chatting with him and making sure that it's only the time I was arrested, and to make sure that they could just get me out during that time. And much of the calls were coming from international calls were coming in like Safari Rally. Not only one, but one was consistent, talking about, okay, How is it? How was it? You have those kind of the people who they'll be consistent at that particular point. And they made it happen, and Gintu came out. Yes, I appreciate, yes, Gintu came out at that kind of the way. But can you understand that this kind of the way they have been ever talking about you, they have been ever supporting, it's because of my courtesy. You have been surviving and also having talk about supporting you in whatever, or talk about money, whatever it could be, so you can just make sure that you are just moving forward. And a person, guys, I'm telling you, this kind of the hula baloos of the day, they started when now I started paying a lot of money to this kind of the guy to make sure that you're going to be performing much of the things here and there. So whenever you have calculated that, okay, this is the bill of the windows, this is the bills of where, this is the bills of this, so calculate your own percentage and tell me that this is what you need at this particular rate. So you talk about, okay, this is how we're going to be getting forward. So they think about Gintu going to be now talking about, I don't have to pay you. I'm not like other people. I have to pay you your money as you requested it, and that's who I am. And why are they not talking about, oh, Gintu was not paying, Gintu was doing this, Gintu was not paying this and that and this? Tell them to come out and say it, that Gintu never paid anyone. And talk about, oh, you know, Gintu is talking this way, he's talking that way. Anybody come and complain that Gintu has never paid you your money. And that is the fact thing that the person can talk about. Gintu is bad. I did him the work, I did the work, and to his on site, he never paid me. That's what you can say. And to the real fact, guys, this kind of the people coming out to talk about Gintu, they're the people whom they had nothing at their start. And I'm telling you that. Because a day I met with this kind of the guy who is talking about he knows Gintu's secrets A to Z. He knows nothing. You cannot come to my life in 1 month and think about you can discuss Gintu the whole of my life. That's a failure. That's a failure. And I don't think about you can ever understand my own legitimate legacy about it. Because when I'm just at the video, I'm talkative. But when I am at home, I try to understand how the legacy is. I don't talk much. Guys, that's a fact. When I'm at home, I don't talk much. I can talk onto the videos here, but whenever I am at home, I want to understand. I gauge my talk. I don't have much of the talk. So even how those kind of the people are talking about, oh, Gintu was not paying attention to me, Gintu was not talking to me, I don't have much of the... The more you will be talking, the more they will get much of the point to hit you. So that is the strategy that I got from the villa during that time. Because I was told with the guy from that kind of an area, told me that I always fall, and I understand the legacy how it falls. Because he ever rectified me in one of the things that I have to use entirely. And we were so friendship during that time. That's the fact. Not that I could not say this and this. That's a fact. And I had to make sure that everything is coming out very fantastic. So the good thing that I'm going to be talking about is they think about they're going to be now spilling everything, A, B, C, D up to Z. They know nothing about Gintu. The fact is they just know Gintu. Whenever I'm just communicating, I'm just passing here, much of the subscriber are calling this guy, and they're just coming to me that, oh, Gintu, can I do this one? So if a person can just benefit from you and make sure that he's now becoming who he is, and even talk about you're going to be like me, I'm telling you, you are just absentia. And that's the fact. Because you think about you ever suffered and done what and what and all. I've met this kind of the guy at the town and telling me that, oh, Gintu, now I cleared my name. So what? You cleared your name. So what? So the fact is, let me tell you guys, you know, sometimes we have to understand the brains that are outside here. You might be an older person, but the brain is like a dog. Very small brain. You can be a younger guy, but you can have a brain which is better than even those kind of the guys. The fact is one, if I have restored your privacy, I don't have any kind of the reason to spill that, oh, I have done this to you, I have done this, you tell me this one. I don't have that one. So the fact is, this kind of the guys, you have now understood whom they are, that they will never be trustable. Even if you call them, know that you are not privatized. One day you will ever come out to be spilled as beans. And I'm telling you, you will be spilled out. And whatever you have to understand legitimately is that the legacy prevails into the hand of somebody. Your friend is your friend. If your friend tells you about this is it, this is it, this is it, and he has just trusted you during that time, so as you can give them a little bit of a hope because they ever entrust you. Now you are coming out to talk about, oh, you understand, Gintu is this way, he ever told me this way, he ever told me this way. You are stupid. And there's no day you will ever gain anything. You will never gain anything. Because if the fact is you can prevail and talk about Gintu's friendship, and I helped you from even beddings until videoing until the toilets, and you turned onto my back. You started it 1.5 months earlier, talking about I love you. She's talking about yes, I love you too. And you are communicating that when are you getting from that home? That home doesn't belongs to you. Make sure that you are coming to me. I'm the only person who can just treat you. With the environment I saw there. You know, sometimes somebody can think about I'm joking, but I'm 100% serious. I'm not even understanding a person how is always coming to talk about Gintu is this way. And to the real fact, guys, I'm the one who even promoted him with even a beddings. You know, sometimes people have failures. And even I went to his home to have a video so as he can be helped. Now you are coming talking about Gintu is looking at you with jealousy. What do you have bigger than whatever Gintu is prevailing to have? And you're talking about, oh, now you're going to be knowing whoever is just behind the G Castle. The G Castle is built with the subscribers and Gintu's money. And there's no day that's what you are targeting. That Gintu should come and talk about, oh, this is the guy, this is the guy. Ever possible, you'll never get it. And I always appreciate everybody locked in. Talk about as far as I go and collect my own salary and make sure that I'm putting it at the G Castle. Everybody participated. Everybody participated. There are people who can come to M-Pesa Direct. There are people who can come to transfer. There are people who are watching 10 to 15 times a day, one video. So you can just get that money because of we can talk about the CPM of that kind of the country. And they can support you. And if I was bad, I could be talking about, guys, don't support this kind of the people. Everybody should do his own work. So right now, I'm coming to recognize and understand why are David Jr. and talk about Dimwango, they're talking about I don't want shout-outs. I don't want to give this kind of the people the shout-outs. I don't want to give this kind of the villagers a shout-out. Now, it's coming to a conclusive whereby I don't need anyone. I need to privatize myself the way I was and strategize myself again. Because they think about, now you have come to Gintu's life, you have come to completely, and Gintu's life will now come to be yours. That is a failure. And they don't understand. Somebody is talking about, imagine, guys, it's not a lie, because when I'm telling you this as a fact, because I was the one who bought to that kind of the lady a phone. I'm the one who bought that phone she's using. And I have the box. And I have any kind of the details that they need because I'm the one who bought it. So when the DCI started investigating, because they were acting abnormally and in a way that it was suspicious. And sometimes whenever I'm coming from Nyaboanse, I find them whenever he's welding, this kind of the lady, they're on top of the G Castle, they are negotiating there. And whenever I'm just reaching, the lady comes out from that kind of on top of the G Castle, talk about the deck, and she comes down and pass through to the house. And now they have already discussed, now Gintu has come. Now everything dismisses there. And they now think about Gintu is a fool. I cannot understand what's really happening. Better if you are communicating with a person, even if this person comes, still be there. Talk the way you are talking. But when Gintu is coming in, I find that now the talk is dismissed. So am I a failure? Am I a fool? So sometimes you have to understand the criteria, how it is. Those are the total demagogues and failures at the same time. Because they think about now they're going to be turning Gintu's back and talking about now they are just communicating. Imagine, guys, I'm telling you that's a fact because I have all the receipts that were sent with the DCI. If it could be another person, I'm telling you that Gintu is good-hearted, and that is the real fact. If it could be the other person, you could have heard that this kind of the demagogues are completely destroyed from even the village. And to the real fact, I honor the dignity. I understand humanity. I understand the fraternity, and I understand the community. Because whatever you ever do, they don't have any kind of a way of turning back. They will ever turn back in an opposite way. So the fact is, I leave them to do whatever they think about they can just do. I forgive and I go. I don't have a way of coming back and talking about, oh, you know, this kind of the people there this way. So when I go back to even the receipts, and I'm telling that as a fact, let me see them. The receipts, the receipts, they're here. And this kind of the guy who is talking about is the one doing I don't know what and I don't know what. He was onto this kind of the platform. Let me show you the number. He was not using the same number that he's using right now, but he was using the Airtel number to communicate every kind of the communications, because he think about Gintu doesn't have the details about everybody. So he was using the Airtel line so they can communicate to much of the things how they occur. This kind of the guy communicated on it's a 07 and finishing with a 98. So it called on 6th May 2025. It was 5 times, and the fifth time it was around 11:58 that they started communicating for 18 minutes. What are you talking to this kind of the girl at my home? 18 minutes, and I have 5 times. Imagine the 5th time it was 11 in the morning. This was 6th May 2025. Then the same day, which is on 6th May, he communicated around 13:14 lunchtime. What were they talking about in lunchtime? And I remember this particular points, and I remember this particular time. When I go to the video back on 6th, what I uploaded on 6th, I was at my fish ponds there. So I was no longer at the village here. So I was no longer at my home. So they talk about, okay, let's now think about what we're going to be doing at this particular moment. Let us hinge our cucumbers here and there. So whenever I'm just gone out, they're just going for their outs. I'm talking about this how it is. Then it was channeled from those kind of the date I just tracked the number until 26th April, and it was still persisting. Talking about I called 2 times, and it was 13:20, and it was 13:20 and 13:26 that he just communicated again, and he called 2 times at that particular time. So when we go back to another way, he just called on let me check on it. He just called on 12th May again and talk. Tumeanza June. Yeah. Today is 1st June and we are celebrating Madaraka Day.
Today is Madaraka Day?
Yeah, today is Madaraka Day. Fantastic. And everything is so good.
In advance.
So you have talked about the story here, and what I can just analyze is we have the outer meaning and the inner meaning.
Exactly.
So to the outer meaning, what's the way the story was? It means that there's one thing that a person can be used to trick you and make sure that is getting your own attentions. And if you don't have much of the brain to understand that this is a harm or this is a zone whereby it's a no-go zone, you will continue be harmed. And you will continue thinking about you are in the safer position. But the real fact, the same people we have at our own regime are the ones who are making us to feel the brunt of them. Talking about they're gonna be doing much of the terrible things to us, and that is the way of just analyzing it. And the real fact is the way everything is going, we can just understand that everything wants to take its advantage of something.
Exactly.
So as far as everything is in concern, we can talk about if the king is there, we have much of the people are just surrounding the king.
Exactly.
So they can just make sure that they are bringing much of the food, talk about maintaining the security and managing all the services done there, because even the government, it has its own tributaries, talk about the PSS, talk about the ministries and such kind of the people, the MPs and everybody. So that is now a government formulated. And if you don't have those ones, we don't have, even if a president can stand and doesn't have a government, talk about those kind of the people, he's no longer president also. So to the fact here now, the folk was acting as the tributaries of the government, to make sure that they're going to be bringing some of the wages, talk about this kind of the taxes, so as you can run the government. So the tax here, it was food to the king. So to the real fact now, we come to this kind of the scenario. We mean about we have much of the people outside here whom they are being used to talk about I can use you to make sure that you are putting this kind of the person down. And this kind of the person, if you don't have much of the brain to sense that to the real fact, have I ever benefited from that one? No. And I've gone for the first time, I've been treated this way. So what about the second time? Can you manage or can you imagine on what will come as next and to that kind of the plot for you? So that is my understanding. What about you?
Exactly. You are just coming near and the real things is maybe these are the terms that we'll be just using to this season to make sure that whoever is just clever, will be just or should be just be able to get what we are just meaningful, and will be able to get together and move forward.
Exactly.
In terms of security purposes, and in terms of how things is just the environment, the wind is just blowing and the birds is just how the birds are just singing. Exactly. So there was a time that we this kind of the folk. The folk is the owner that is just a slave also.
He's a slave
right
also,
now. And right now, also the folk is the security. But the king, he thinking that he is clever. But not knowing that this kind of the folk is eating, is the fact that maybe that this kind of the king, the lion king, will be just sending the folk that go and bring me the virgin one. The folk, he will be the first one that he will be just
using it before
breaking. I think people they are just getting
everything is going on.
So this is the term that we have just come to use, that this kind of is it the, we cannot call it is it a government? That
like
you have, is it a government? Or a police?
It's a government.
It's a government. So the lion was thinking that he is just brave, but not knowing that whatever that he was just being eating is that the lion has been already take place.
Exactly.
I have already read this kind of the scripture, and we know the true story, and also one day we meet with the folk.
Exactly.
And we have some chit chat, and this was the true story.
So to the real fact, we have got the story here, and it's gonna be reflecting much more in terms of talking about how right now Nyabuhanse is reacting and how Nyabuhanse is still being in use to make sure that much of the people right now, we cannot talk about it's only, even you understand when we have a government, that kind of a government where it is. So even a government has support from the outside, talk about IMF, talk about World Bank, you understand? So to the real fantastic way of talking about how Nyabuhanse is, we have much of the people think about they are the kings of Nyabuhanse, and yes, they have much of where the money is coming from, you understand? This kind of the world international monetary funds. So they are coming in. So what they want is to make sure that whatever they get, they subject to this kind of the small people are just at their backs backing here and there. They can just get as a small as a thing which is just not acceptable. For the fact right now is the folk now, when we talk about the folk, now now much of the people want to analyze that is it that the only king should be the person who will be feeding at this kind of the position. So we want to make sure that everything is running smooth. Even me, I have to benefit as you benefit.
Exactly.
I'm the one who went and searched for this kind of the food. I'm the one who made sure that I'm just luring this kind of the food to come to the table. So why do you want you to use it only, yet I'm just salivating, yet I'm the one who used my brain to make sure that I'm bringing that food onto the table. So it gets to this kind of the essence, whereby to the real fantastic way of the module, much of the people want to talk about, oh, they're going to be using you, so as they're going to be benefiting. And whenever we talk about, now you come to realize yourself that, oh my God, so this is how it's going to be tricked. Now they talk about, oh, you know, it was this way, I have ever been into this way. So they want to bring much of the shagara bagara reaction. So that is the way of how Nyabohanse now is reacting. So to the real fact now, I'm going to be starting this kind of the characteristic way. So I have much of the questions to ask, so you can just elaborate to us east, west, and south, so you can just understand what's really coming out. I've seen Chef Matiko has come out and talked about much of the ladies are from Nyabohanse are sending him much of the nudes. So to the real fact, do you understand that it's going to be practiced here in Nyabohanse? Because from the nudes we have something called the land grabs, and also we have the liquor, and also we have manipulation. So to this kind of the four things I'm just talking about here, we can just start with this kind of the nude in the nudic photos again, because I've seen Chef Matiko talking about much of the girls. I'm just giving you the warning because they are now sending. I don't know if even I had one of the 2-3 ladies outside there who they were just complicating and manipulating much of the things. I don't know if they are related to Chef Matiko whenever they're going to be talking about the nudes. So I don't know if you are here a person talking about stop sending me. So there's an equation that I'm just still not having there good. Why could he come out and talk about stop sending me this kind of the nudic photos to me? It means that he might be part of the program whereby he has received more than even he expected. Like you can find that I want to talk about, okay, I want this kind of the lady to make sure that is the one I'm just using. Then at this kind of the far end, this kind of the lady goes and communicates, oh, I have got a platform, do you want me to orient you into this kind of the platform? So they start communicating that, oh, you understand, can I come to that kind of the portfolio and make sure that I'm helping you and collecting much as ladies as possible so they can just be introduced. It's only because of talk about the donations, and also we have this kind of the lack of consistency in terms of YouTube. Yes, the YouTube is there for much of the people to earn, but we have a very slow motion way whereby people want to get money as quick as possible. And I'm just doubting, why is Chef Matiko coming out to talk about stop sending me the nudes? How?
You know, when it comes that it is too much.
Too much. It means now it was part of the program.
It is too much. And then maybe there is some of the session that there is some of the punani that you cannot see. Or there is some of the, it's just called kokumba or what?
A cucumber.
Is it cucumber?
Which one?
Is it kokumba or cucumber?
Which kind of the ones we are talking about?
Is the kokumba.
Cucumber.
Or cucumber. Cucumber. You know, when it is just too much, you have now to expose it. And it is the little things. There is one day that I was just that is, I remember that is the session that I was just starting this kind of the boutique, where at time I met Chief Matiko and she was just having like one of the lady from Nyabohanse that we cannot just
express right now.
Yeah, because we are just giving a moment so that we can just come in with the clear picture on it. But at the little sense, who was just ongoing there, it was very scared, and even me, I could not sustain there hearing what was just
being discussed.
Exactly. And at when we're gonna just back until into the nudic photo right now, as we are just talking right now here, you're gonna see that the lady, she is out from the village, but what she's just doing outside here is just acting. Is it pornography?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Is it?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I don't want.
It's
I don't
called OnlyFans.
sucking and I think marination.
Marination,
My friend.
marinating the surface area exposed with much of making sure that you're gonna be holding and handling the cucumbers very possible.
I don't know if those kind of the human beings are human beings that has got a blood, or they are just having a Jessica fields.
The thing that I'm just telling you is that to the real fact, it is there, and much of I told you that when the YouTube was being introduced into Nyaboanse, that's where the failure started, whereby much of the people were not told that. Do you understand that this kind of the YouTube, it's here for this, this and this theme, but it was introduced that do whatever you want to do because you feel it vibing, and I can just quote the word that came from the villa one day, that when the chief came to talk about much of the ladies have got themselves outside there, they're just going to much of the rivers and they're just naked everywhere, and school had been closed. So you can find that in one river, this kind of the YouTubers goes there and they just remove all of their stuffs here, and they start talking about, oh, we have to go and shower to show this kind of the stuffs, the nudic things here, and you can find the whole river is full of the village people.
Do you know why the crab bites introduced?
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to it now.
All right.
So that's what now caused even the chief to come to the villa to talk about now things gonna be getting bad, and he was chased out of the villa. During that time, I can just remember because he came to talk about okay, this kind of the ladies, we will take the action upon them because they are showing to the environment and the culture and the norms are not going on with this kind of the things. And this kind of the people who came to Nyaboanse to do it, they are not from here, and you can just understand them. Talk about the
there is a video that I made. I think it is my latest video talking about the only people who are just the YouTuber that are just among of the village from Nyaboanse. They can just go like 10 only. Your father is just like 15. What we call majority
from outside.
From outside.
Exactly, that's the fact. So right now, I'm telling you this as a fact, the way it is. You understand this kind of the people, they were introduced into the way of talking about how can I get money as easy as possible. And to the real fact, I understand YouTube is not as easy as much of the people think about. And it will come to backfire whenever it gets to one of the point. Now it becomes a scenario. And that kind of the scenario is what is now becoming so hecticful, whereby much of the people right now, they are stressed, mortality rate is high, and they feel like they're going to be even depleting themselves from the world and just vanish from here, and they've got themselves into it. And much of the people are hungry for money. Talking about, they think about now, whenever I see that Mogesi is now constructing, oh, Mogesi started, well, I started before even Mogesi, so why is Mogesi constructing? I have not constructed. What can I do so as I can be like Mogesi right now? So that is peer pressure.
People, they have what do we call it?
It's pressure. A peer pressure.
Pressure.
Or the pressure. Pressure increase. No, decrease. It's a pressure increase in the body.
And
they have pressure, yeah, something like that. So they feel like, what can I do to make sure that I'm getting to that kind of the pinpoint Mogesi is? And also, much of the people, they came to understand that whenever they see much of the YouTubers who have much of the subscribers, they know that those kind of the people, they have money already. You understand? And to the real fact of the time, that's why you see Chef Matiko is complaining about this kind of the lady should stop sending him much of the nudes, because how did it start? You know, sometimes I don't understand how did it start up to when he talked about this kind of the lady should stop sending me the nudes. So that is the equation that I'm still asking myself, and I've never recognized to understand where is it coming from, and we will ever come to know this kind of the pointer. And we go to the second thing. We are talking about this kind of the way of getting forward. We have manipulation, and manipulation is whereby much of the guys right now, they feel like what can I do to make sure that I'm stopping Mogesi not to continue? What am I going to do? They started another platform of making sure that they're going to be now being spokespeople. You understand?
Yeah.
They want to be spokesperson. Whenever you have been caught maybe in the police, they want to come as spokespeople.
Yeah.
So everybody's looking, yes, you are looking for money, you are looking for an opportunity for you to do, but we are looking at the wrong side, because as far as everything will come, sometimes it will come to an end, whereby that kind of the manipulation that, oh, you understand, this kind of the person has this kind of amount of money, so we have to make sure that we are just bringing in the police so they can just get him, and we're never going to be going there, we will be staying there and talking about, yeah, we are just the people to be there. Yeah, you want to pass, man? Yeah, so that's the point now we wanted to understand and to dignify ourselves to talk about. That is the portfolio that much of the people are still getting into it. So to the latest scenario that I saw much of this kind of the guys, and I can just call them the demagogues of the time. Yeah, because at this kind of the time, you can find that a person talking about, you know, I've stood with you, I've been there since the morning up to late in the evening. So I've tried my best. Even as talked to this kind of the other guys, talk about we're never going to be talking straight about I'm the one who made it to happen. And if it could not be me, it could not come out. You understand?
Yeah.
And to the real fact is he has gone there to understand. He should be there. Whatever they are discussing, he should understand what is the platform talking about, what is the other people talking about, so they can understand on how to play the trick. And you're going to be the one talking about, yeah, put this kind of the amount of money. So I think if he doesn't reach this kind of the aim of money, don't let him go. You just fix it there. We understand. So that is what much of the people right now they're doing, and it has come to an end also. So everything that you do, it's going to be coming to an end. And to the real fact of the time, I'm going to be talking about right now we have a problem. And the way we came out talking about we have to help ourselves. Yeah. As you understand how we suffered for that kind of the latest way, and talk about the slavery time and how we worked terribly.
That's why I talk about we wish we could go back where we met,
how we started it,
so that we could feel the same.
We will. Much of the people will feel it, because
exactly.
A person can see Gint right now and see Mugesh right now and talk about I see it's just a normal content they're making. Oh, they're just normal. They're just here, random here. Even me, I can do like them. So I want to think about now you can do it the way we have been doing it. So to the real fact, we have been suffering somewhere, whereby for us to come right now and talk about this is how it is, we have suffered a lot. Making sure that for us even to be thrown out without any kind of money. And even it was Mahinda that we are just collaborating and talking about. We were there for how did it?
It's just for help or shout out,
like a help. Like we went there, we just went there that I want to work for you, so they can just get a shout out. So it's like we went on ourselves that we are not earning any kind of the money. So that is the failure that much of the people are coming out with, the complication, so they can diminish you and keep you completely. So I saw another story again. Now it has become now another story, whereby now it's gonna be coming attacks. So I've seen much of the guys right now. They're talking about how is this kind of the guys getting money? How is this kind of the people getting money? So they want to follow up the roots. That this kind of the root is coming from here, it's coming from there, it's coming, and these are the people who are bringing, and it's just our own failure, and I can admit to it that we are just talking about this kind of the person, and they come very softly talking about Gintu or Mogesi, I need this kind of the work, I want to make sure that I can construct it, and you just give me the work.
The only thing that you never understand is that for people who are just usually watching us, and the people that are just also sometimes you're gonna just find that there is some people that from these kind of opponents and these kind of different, they are just different. Then they're gonna just use you. Then you go and hinder somebody like Mogesi that go and do these kind of 1, 2, 3 things. Then after them, come out or just make it to be exposed. So they are some people like I think maybe one day we'll be able to list them and expose them. Because there is time that is just coming, and there is some of the list that people who are called evil subscribers who are still receiving nudic photo and asking nudic photo. And where nudic photo just coming from, it's where I already start introducing betting to deliver. Or a guy or a man started betting to deliver.
So they know that this is a cheaper surface for us to go.
Exactly.
So whenever you see this kind of the videos, that's why you know that this kind of a person, there's a target they're just making. There's a target they want, but maybe they have not got that kind of a target. So can I be in so I can understand, is it going to be working or not working? So the fact right now I'm telling you is we should be very, very punctual, because it's coming like now much of the people want to feel that kind of a bad way of why this kind of the people are getting to the higher standards and we are just left behind. And to the real fact is I've just understood this kind of the program, how it is, and it's being running and it's now controlling. And right now we have much of the scenarios to come, but we are not bothered with that one.
Exactly.
So as far as we are determined that this is what we have to do at this particular moment, at this particular rate, we have to go forward with it. So nobody will ever come and talk about, oh, you understand, it is this way, it is that way. And much of the people are just still wondering, wow, Gintu still we are just closer here with Mogesi, and much of the people doesn't know that we are always together. It's just a much of the work that has separated us a little bit.
We do talk about backward never, straight forward.
Forward is always.
Exactly.
Forward forever. And backward never.
We can jump to the next point, so that because we have much of the things to reveal that.
Exactly.
And maybe today we can just touch a little bit as an introduction, as the season is just going to be released one-on-one from day to day, so that we can just get a best position and get a clear picture of this kind of village that is just being, is it manipulated?
It's a manipulation.
Exactly.
Right now it's manipulation.
There is a thing that there is one of the mom was just calling me day and night, disturbing me. I was just talking about, she was just disturbing me, but in a real sense, she was just needing my help. There is do you know the guy called Matiko?
Yeah, Matiko, yeah.
Matiko, there is a thing that he was just, I don't know if there is a guy called Red J.
Red J, yeah.
Red J managed to get into this sector, talking about I'm gonna just take you into the rehab. I don't know if it is the subscriber that donate those kind of the money, or he is the one that shown up. Is it shown up or what?
The fact is, you understand, there's a time this kind of the story started from their home. They went because they want a land, and they went and talked about, hey Matiko, we want to give you a small money here, so you can just give us this kind of a piece of land. Then what happened from there is whereby they gave him 60,000 Kenya shillings for them to catch that kind of a plot, so they cannot be sold, because they know that whenever they give them to Matiko and the father, they'll drink, talk about liquor, and that money will never be returned. So they'll just own that kind of the land and pay them the way they need. Exactly. So they want to pay this kind of amount of money to make sure that whenever it gets to another time, whenever they're going to be talking about, no, give us money, they'll talk about, okay, we don't want your land, return our money back. So they will not return that money back. So that's where now Matiko started going to their home and talking about, please, I want the money because you promised me the next month. Now it's 3 months after, below the line, and you have not yet given me this kind of the money. So when he was going there, it was introduced that, oh, we like you, you know, we love you, we don't want much of the 2-3 things here, we can even give you a job. They gave him a job of riding a motorbike, riding the conduct for 2 days. Then it was a way of luring him to make sure that they are together. Then from there, we started having this kind of the videos A, B, C, D. Now, Lady J saw that this is now the opportunity of making sure that I'm taking over that kind of the land, a family. Now, he started going to their home, a specific home, and talked about going to be drilling them a borehole, and also buying them much of the sofa sets, and a TV, and the bed, and everything, and to their house.
The ball never worked.
And the ball never worked.
Never worked. It just goes like, I don't know, it's just like 7 feet.
Only.
7 feet only.
Yeah, and it was just left vacant.
Yeah, exactly.
So that
because the other day I was just there, where I was just having his mom.
Yeah.
And the mom was just having a cry. Yeah. And you know, a mom is a mom. When the only person who can just have a pain of his of
sons
the
and
pain
daughters.
of the somebody is just only his mom or his
Exactly,
dad.
because they understand the character.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so that's where this kind of the Mahinda nation came from, whereby now they started using them and talking about, much of the people talked about, oh, there's a time they bought a phone to Matiko's wife.
Yeah.
That kind of a phone, Matiko took it, and they saw that they said that Matiko has stolen, but he took it because the wife was acting normally.
Exactly.
And he saw that
During
this kind
night
of
session?
night session, and talked about this kind of the phone will bring confusion to my marital status, and took that phone and went and sold it where the liquor is.
Yeah.
And in the morning, whenever Lady J went there, he found that the phone had been sold, because he's the one who bought that kind of the phone from a subscriber who was needing the nudic photos of that kind of the lady.
Exactly.
Then now the mission was to be terminated, because if the phone is sold and it's the one that are going to be taking much of the videos, A, B, C, D, and every section, so now the mission will be failed. So he just went there with much of the goons and found Matiko was there, and they were a bit to beat him, and they called him a thief, and that's the point they talked about. That lady is in danger, and Matiko is trying to sabotage the lady, and they took the lady out of Matiko and talked about Matiko gonna be harming her terribly, and Matiko was aggressive. So if you want to kill a monkey, you have not to see it unto the face.
Exactly.
Or if you want to make sure that you are killing a monkey, you have to make sure that you are giving it a bad name, so as it can sound bad to your brain and you can dismantle it. So that's how they gave Matiko a very bad name. Is it?
I think it's just mine.
Oh, it's inside.
Exactly.
So they talked about how we're going to give Matiko a bad name so as they can know how to dismantle and vanish him.
They call him a thief.
A thief, exactly. So
Then
at long last,
it to a time that they want to take him to the rehab.
exactly, that's the point now. So when this kind of the scenario happened, much of the people proposed that, without making some terrible things to, much of other people are having humanity. Not everybody in their channels is having a bad mind like the way they are. Much of the people there still, they have that humanity and equity and the fraternity. So the fact is now they resemble that, okay, let's take him to the rehab so he can just get to be taught on how to leave this kind of the liquor behind until he could be a good person into the environment. So the money was sent for him to get to the rehab. Now this kind of the money, how it came in, so the wife had been migrated to another area, so you can just film without no much of the hesitation, and also much of the banger bushes here and there, so the people could just be there. You understand, much of the people who are going to film the videos, they were there to make sure that those are just the people who are just talked about. They were hired to make sure that the video is going to be coming well and highly sanitized. So from that kind of the fantastic area, so that's where now you see Matiko was taken to the rehab until date. And there's a time I came out and talked about, you understand, guys, we have a problem here. What are we going to be doing to Matiko's life, and how we want to be it? And we went there, me and you, and we saw Matiko was there, told us that everything is just vacant from the house. They took everything from there.
The house was empty.
The house was empty.
And still now it's just empty.
It's empty that way. So Matiko right now is stored, and they're going to be sold. And you can never know if he's in jail or he's in the rehab. Nobody can know.
You know, they did things that was just coming from his mom's mouth. It was Matiko right now is just struggling. It's just is it starving, or how can we do it?
It's like he's struggling for the life.
He's just struggling.
Exactly.
Because he was just into the rehab, but right now, due to an unconditional circumstance, he was just thrown out from the rehab, but he was just being put into the next station. I think he was right now is just into like a social like cell.
Oh, a controlled rooms.
Exactly. Even there is a brother of mine that just come from Robbie Girl's family, that he was just making some calls to the moms of Matiko, where she was just, oh, your boy is just outside here. Your boy is just here. Is really suffering.
Is really suffering.
Yeah, that's why the moms of Matiko every day, night and morning, where she was just managed to call me so that you
can hear the scenario.
Exactly.
So that is a cry of justice that's going to be coming out to this kind of the portfolio, and I promise to have much of the things coming, so as we can just make sure that we are elevating to understand that where is humanity. It's not like we have money here, we have another money there, and we have to sabotage our own things here and there. So the fact is let us understand there is a humanity always. Let's put the humanity and equity. What if it was you? What if it's your brother brother who was put in such kind of a scenario. So that is the fact that we're going to be talking about. We have to stand with the humanity in Nyabohanse. That is the only thing.
There is a session that the subscriber that are just talking about that we're gonna just go as we are, that we look like we are just helping the village, that we're gonna just go and release Matiko from such kind of session. In Swahili they do say that mavi ulioshika yako yakafanya nini? Eti mavi ulioyashika
yanafanya si anaunya
ile unasema sijui mavu ulio yakanyaga sijui uyashike pia.
It's like this is ukivuka mkojo utakanyaga this
yes.
Yeah, so if it
no,
means that
you're just going like that because it is a session that if you have just engaged on such kind of session, you have to finish it.
Yeah, if you start
kind of,
it, finish it.
Yeah, exactly. So we didn't talk about taking him to the rehab because the man was just we're gonna talk about the man was just normal.
Yeah, very normal.
It's normal. He was
even
just
there's
normal.
a time I hosted him with the brother to Ernesto,
exactly,
asking them why are they so disturbing into the village and why are they selling much of the land here,
exactly,
and why are they too much in liquor.
Yeah,
and they told us it's life.
It's life.
So it is not a rehab.
It
was life. The life, if they could get an opportunity for them to work, they could work, not to be put in the rehab.
So guys, keep it in touch. We have much of the things that is just going to come.
Yeah.
Have much of the things that we need to reveal, and this is the time that we're gonna just come clearly as what is just taking place and what we have just covered outside here, and then we move forward. Forward ever,
backward never.
Backward
so
never.
To the real fantastic module, keep it tuned, keep it locked. Now the session starts. Another epilogue, episodes.